There are some incredible places to live in the Dominican Republic. Many places me and my family would move to knowing what we know now. But one place I wouldn't live with my family is Cap Cana. In today's video, I'm going to share exactly why, what I would do with Cap Cana, where I see the future going, and much more. Let's dive in. Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name's Jamie Gruber. My family and I moved to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic back in 2022. And on this channel, I share life abroad here in DR, tips, tricks, tactics, anything I can. And a question I got recently from somebody was my opinion on living in Cap Cana. This one person asked it, but I've gotten this question quite a bit recently, so I figured it's a good time to do a video on this. So if you're not familiar with Cap Cana or what it is or where it is, most consider it to be part of Punta Cana. It's close, it's in the area, but it's not technically. If you fly into Punta Cana, here's the airport right here. I'll show you on a map. If you drive just to the south, about 10 minutes, you're gonna come into this big gated area. Somebody said it's like 2 times the size of Manhattan. And that whole development with multiple different developments inside of it, resorts, restaurants, you name it, is called Cap Cana. It's very secure, which is a big, big draw as far as people moving here that wanna feel safe. It's absolutely safe. And it is a beautiful piece of land, right on the beach, gorgeous white sand. It's the Caribbean. It has amazing golf courses if you like golf, and if you follow my channel, you know I don't.
Hey, can we beep at people in their backswing? Like when they're going to take a shot?
And there's a lot of other nice things about Cap Cana. But on the question of living there, let me give you a little context. When my family first moved down here in 2022, my wife is Dominican, but still, she hadn't lived here as an adult. So all the advice and thoughts and everything that we got from local family members, as well as what we read online, was Cap Cana is such a safe, great place, especially for expats. So we got an Airbnb in a neighborhood in Cap Cana called Green Village. Green Village looks a lot like these houses. It's sort of like white construction with a red roof. They all look very similar. There's different sizes and shapes, but you can tell you're in Green Village when you're in Green Village. And at the time we moved here, there was this sort of abandoned clubhouse in the middle of it. And out in the front, there was a shopping plaza that had next to nothing in there, but now has quite a bit, to be honest with you. And when we moved to Green Village with our 2 young sons, 7 and 4 at the time, something became very evident after a few days. There's no one there. So we set out to other parts of Cap Cana. We'd go to the beach, we'd go to the marina section, which is sort of the northern tip and probably the most active, if you will, part of Cap Cana. Again, no one there. I remember bumping into a guy about a month and a half in who was a teacher at the school locally in Cap Cana called Heritage. And I said, hey man, we must have hit it at the low season. He's like, I've lived here 2 years. There's never anybody here. Context, I'm talking about being a family of 4 with 2 young kids, moving to a place where I want my kids to be able to actively engage with other kids. Didn't exist. And I don't think it really does still to this day. Now, I go into Cap Cana quite a bit. It's got a lot of great amenities like El Dorado Water Park, Skate Park. Again, the marina with all the restaurants like Noah and Drago and Barbuto, awesome. Maralia is a restaurant right on the beach with 2 pools in it. We love going there and spending the day. And after this video releases, I may be banned forever from Cap Cana, but it's a risk I'm willing to take to be authentic to my content. But I want to be clear on this point now. I would not live in Cap Cana now, but would I buy in Cap Cana? Oh, absolutely. Is it valuable to own in Cap Cana? Oh, no doubt, but it is a purchase for the future. Now let me backtrack a little bit. I would not live in Cap Cana with a young family. There are not the neighborhoods yet, although there are 2 potentially, I'll share them in a minute, that might be suitable for families with kids. But if we were a retired couple or didn't have kids, or if we just kind of want to be quiet and left alone, absolutely I'd live in Cap Cana. The neighborhood I would choose would be the marina, because again, it's the closest to the exit to get to everything, and it's really where all the restaurants and any of the bustle truly is. It's also one of the most expensive parts of Cap Cana. But hey, if you can afford it, go for it. But again, I'd love to own there. What I found is most people that are in Cap Cana, when you do see them, are either owners coming from, say, Santo Domingo or another city that own some vacation property there where they just come for the weekend to get away. Or they own from the United States or Canada and they're Airbnb-ing their property in Cap Cana. So very transient. There's not a lot of static people living always in Cap Cana like you might find in a Cocotal or a Punta Cana village, or even now Vista Cana, which is growing and has even still more of a family feel than Cap Cana does. Now, there are 2 communities inside Cap Cana that I think have a lot of potential and in the next 5 to 10 years may become more of a family hub. They also have a significant flaw, and I'm gonna give advice to Cap Cana if you're watching on how I think you can truly build a family community coming from a guy who's a family man coming from the States. The 2 communities are called Ciudad Las Canas. This is just outside the gates of Cap Cana. It has its own secure entrance. Inside is Heritage School, which is probably the most expensive school in the area. It caters to a higher end client. That neighborhood has a bit of a family element to it, but still it's doing something I think it shouldn't. And the other one is called Las Iguanas. This is just south of Juanillo Beach, and right now they're building beautiful homes in that community in what looks like a neighborhood, and they even have playgrounds for kids and all of that being built right there. But the problem with both at the moment is when you step outside of your new beautiful home in Sierra de las Canas or in Las Iguanas, and you got this great little yard and a playground right there. The moment you look up to the left or the right, you know what you see? Giant apartment buildings. I don't know about you, but if I'm gonna live in a neighborhood with my kids, I don't wanna feel like I'm boxed in or in the shadow of these giant buildings that are equally sharing space in this community. Like, you either move to a neighborhood that is houses or you move to an apartment complex. But being in both at the price point that you'll be paying for a home there, no bueno, at least not for me. And I think most people, Dominican Americans or whomever that are moving here, they're gonna want more of that idyllic US neighborhood experience, which is why a place like Punta Cana Village gets so much attention, or Cocotal. Cocotal has apartments in it, but they have it in a different area. Same with the Village. They're kind of at the back or at the front, but you're not under the shadow of them all the time. Now, I do think Las Canas, on the back side of that neighborhood, if you go in there, is starting to build more neighborhoods, houses, and the buildings in there, the apartment buildings, aren't as imposing as the ones being built in Las Iguanas. So that's progress. That's a good thing. And I think you'll see the potential of those two communities becoming family friendly at some point. So if you love Cap Cana, and I get why you do, and you'd love to have your family relocate there, and you've got a 1, 2, 3-year-old, and you're thinking once they're 8, 9, 10, you want to go there, buy land now, build there now, because I think it will be one day. But right now, not close. There are probably other communities inside of Cap Cana that also are more residential housing, but many of them are massive housing. They're not accessible to most of us. There's mansions in certain neighborhoods, 10, 20, $30 million homes. Great. You can live in that community if you want to, but again, that's not accessible for most of us. We want a $4, $5, $6, $800,000, maybe not even that much, nice home, 4-bed, 4-bath, where your family can grow and live and be in a safe community with other kids, not a mega mansion with whatever amenities come with it. The other thing that Cap Cana needs to do, and I've heard that there is some progress toward this, is it needs to become more independent as a community with its shopping options. Inside of Cap Cana and just outside, there's some little, it's almost like a tease of things that you can get. Like, you can get just the minimums, right? You live inside of Cap Cana and maybe even in Green Village, or you're staying there, there's a place called Cash and Carry in the Green Village Plaza. It's a neat little sandwich shop and a small grocery store. But are you gonna go do a full shop there? No. For that, you need to leave Cap Cana, you need to drive up into the Punta Cana Village area, Punta Cana generally, and go to Nacional, or go to downtown Punta Cana to any of the number of big box grocery store options that are there to get your full shop done. Now, some of you might be like, we just shop at the bodegas or whatever. No, you won't. Listen, there's a difference between visiting here for a period of time and living here. And the majority of people moving are not just like Americans and Canadians. They are Dominican Americans. Dominican, I get the romantic nature of, I lived there for the summers when I was a kid and we go to the local shop. But now you're an adult American where Target and Walmart or whatever are part of what you're looking for. They're part of you, and you have to embrace that and own that. My wife is this person, so I'm speaking from her experience on her behalf. So the point is, until you've got a La Sirena or a Jumbo or a Nacional or some grocery store, like full supermarket at or near Cap Cana without having to leave it and drive 10 minutes to another part of the area, that's not going to grow as a neighborhood. The other is shopping options. So great restaurants inside a fishing lodge and even down in Eden Rock on the exact opposite end. But there needs to be, and there's plenty of land for it, like an outdoor shopping center. I'm sure it's in the plans. I'm sure somebody can tell me it's in the works, but until you see it, it's not real. Right now, Cap Cana seems like they're trying to find a way to build community, but simultaneously doubling down on what they're really good at, which is being more of a resort. Look, the best resorts you're gonna go to, in my opinion, in all of this area are right inside of Cap Cana. They're called the Hyatt Ziva and the Hyatt Zilara. Most people complain about resort food, it's not that good. These Hyatts are legit. Great food, great environment. One's adult only, one is for families. So that's inside. Eden Rock is a great place to go. And there are plenty of other little resorts and those sorts of things inside. On the theme park side, you have Skate Park, you've got Dorado. They're both awesome. We're season pass holders to El Dorado. We love going to Skate Park. Our kids go there with school once a month. Truly amazing. And honestly, I love the fact that Cap Cana is here and I love all that it offers. And again, I do want to own in Cap Cana. You may ask what's stopping me. It's like, I can't put my money everywhere. I'm doing different things with our investments. It's not my number one priority right now. We have others, but Cap Cana is legit. It's a great place. It's a great place to own. It's got a big future. But again, not a place to live. At least not now, and not for a family, which is the context with which I provide my feedback. Again, you're retired, you want a place where you can hang and chill and it not be too crazy, go for it. But you're still gonna face the issues of having to leave Cap Cana to go get everything you need. Now look, what I would love to be honest with you, because I have such love for this country and everything that happens inside of it. I hate hearing about bad developers or scams, and I'm certainly not. The intention of this video, even though we put a nice outside package to get you to watch it, is not to say Cap Cana is a bad place. In fact, quite the opposite. I love Cap Cana. I want to see it become what all of you and I want it to become. I want to see that happen. So maybe you can prove me wrong. Maybe you have a different experience living there, or you have a different experience with friends that live there. Or look, I'll say this because somebody from Cap Cana might be watching. Bring me in, prove me wrong. I'll come take a look. But all I can tell you right now is from my experience living there, from going in and out all the time, from touring all of Cap Cana with realtors, from going in there for different events and birthday parties, from going to friends' places that live in apartment buildings that do have families, and I'm sure it's fine for them. It's not the place that you would want to move if you have a family, not right now. I think you buy in the 2 neighborhoods I mentioned, maybe there's a couple more, you buy the land or build a property there and you allow it to grow into that neighborhood that you want, but it ain't there right now. Also, we need to get a store there and a mall. All of that's got to happen. Plenty of land. I hope it does happen soon. Now, if you want to hear more about like the different neighborhoods throughout this area, the best ones to live and that sort of thing, I did this video right here. Just click on it. It'll give you a full tour. I probably need to update it, but check it out and I'll see you guys in the next one.